The 23rd of November 2023. Your world is in the midst of a war between God and his forces against the forces of Lucifer, or Satan, or Sukracharya. Currently, the main area of battle is concentrated in Palestine between the IDF and the people of Gaza and to a lesser extent West Bank and all that. We're supposed to have a ceasefire, but the ceasefire has been delayed till tomorrow. Or so it seems, we don't know. Anyway, I'm going to cover some basic stuff so that if you use this to talk to somebody who doesn't know much, they'll get a slight idea on the foundation of what is happening. Number one, this is a subjective reality. Science has proven it. And when we say subjective reality, it means there is a consciousness or an awareness that controls everything from within all of you. That continuum of awareness is an aspect of God. That means God, that is how we say God sees everything, God knows everything, God is everywhere. Because it's within all of you. Not just there, He's everywhere else as well, you understand? But He's also seeing everything that you all do from within you. Number two, you have free will. Free will means you have the freedom to choose how you live your life. What are the mistakes that you can make? What are the right things that you can do? But all this comes with a price. You understand? The price can be something that you pay, or the price can be a prize that you get. So if you learn how to live correctly in a mortal world, you'll get rewards. If you learn how to live it incorrectly, you'll get punishments. This is something that falls under the law of karma. We will not go into all the details of all this for now, but just understand that you are in the midst of a war. Now, I'm going to talk about the other side, the side of evil. About 3,000 years ago, a tribe of people were approached by Lucifer, and they were told that they were God's chosen people and that they were supposed to rule this world when the time comes. And He gave them a plan to implement uh, an evolving plan. Do you understand? With the final stage being that they will become the rulers of this world. And in order to do that, they must stick to whatever He says and listen to Him and all that. Some or other, the people agreed, and not all of them, just a group of them. And slowly they began this march towards taking control of every aspect of life in this world that falls under the control of humans. We know them as Zionists. They come from the tribe of the Jewish people. Now what they have done is, over time, slowly taken control of money. First they took control of gold, and through gold they took control of paper currencies, and through paper currencies they have controlled through gold and paper currencies they've also controlled the banking system. And through control of money, they control everything that is associated with money, including your governments, your leaders, absolutely everything. A lot has been written about this, and even their minutes or their instructions given to their people has been leaked out. All this is available, but what people don't realize is that one of the things that Lucifer told them, Satan told them, and got imprinted very deeply into them, is that they have to view all of humanity who are not Jewish as their enemy. So they have a word for it called Goyim, or Gentiles in English. It means people who are non-Jewish. And their relationship with anybody who is non-Jewish is that of an enemy. Do you understand? They also see themselves as a nation in exile. That means their people are in many, many countries. And while they may hold different citizenships, they also consider themselves as a Jewish nation which is spread out over the world, across the world. Now, along the way, they picked up a lot of practices which included black magic, and this involved the sacrifice of children at certain times, and a lot of rather dark stuff. Do you understand? Even the way they excommunicate somebody involves blood. So there's a lot of blood involved in the rituals. And this feeds certain forces that occupy them. Do you all understand? Now, you can do your own research and find out what is the extent of control that the Zionists have. And what I would recommend is to read for yourself the Protocols of the Elders of Zion. Read the excellent series of articles done by Henry Ford called The International Jew. If you're not so keen on having a very long read, there is a particular work that is quite short. You can read it within an hour or two, which is called The Hidden Tyranny. If I'm not mistaken, is the Rosenfield Papers, The Hidden Tyranny. If you want to learn more about their blood sacrifice and other things, you can look for the book called The Blood Ritual. And once you Google for that, you'll find other works which are associated with it. These are dark arts, black magic. You know, Satan likes a lot of this stuff. And one thing that it does is that it gives them a certain kind of power to maintain their cause, this path of evil, this path of conquest through work behind the scenes. And what we have done from the God side is we have stopped this. We have stopped the flow of energy towards them whenever they perform these blood sacrifices. And what it has caused is that the people who have been dependent on all these things, these blood rituals and all that, in order to be able to continue with their agenda, are slowly starting to go insane. Do you understand me? Because they are human souls. Remember, I said all of you have a soul. The only way they could be on this path of evil for generations is that if their human soul, which is a divine thing, is put out of commission. It's not dead, it's not been sold to the devil or anything. What it happens to it is that it becomes so dormant, so asleep, that it takes no control over what happens. The free will of the character of the human that the Zionists are is entirely controlled by demonic forces. Do you all understand? So now they are losing control of their vessels, and one example of that is what is happening in Gaza right now. Nobody seems to be able to control Netanyahu. And another trick that Lucifer played on them is that he gave them a plan that will put them on a collision course with God. Do you understand? And that's why I've been active on this side for the past few years. And if you all remember, or if you don't know, one of the things I said 5 or 6 years ago is that my main purpose for everything is to find out who is truly guilty, who are the true controllers of evil in this world, and it's been proven quite conclusively that it is the Zionists. Now, it's not just the Zionists, they have helpers, and this is all listed down in their works, the protocols and all the other books that I've said. Actually, there's a lot of books that you can look at regarding the Jewish Christian, the Zionist Christian, and one of the other groups is called the Freemasons, who also worship Lucifer, who also worship Satan. Now, the idea was that once they managed to get complete victory over this world, have brought all of humanity, all the Goyim, to accept them as their masters, is to put their own king to rule this world and move on from that. But because of certain flaws that Lucifer placed into their plan, it's never going to succeed. It was never going to succeed. It was always doomed for failure. And they know it. The leaders of the Zionists, the leaders of the Freemasons, the leaders of the free world, the leaders of the not so free world, everybody knows that they're losing, and they're all quite aware of me. Now the question is this: the God side has defeated them at the level of you know that is above humanity. Do you understand? The question is, what is going to happen to all of you? A lot of people that stand on the side of the Zionists will end up going to hell, but it won't be an eternal hell. They'll go there to pay up all the debts that you all have accumulated in terms of karma. That means the karma has to be cleared, and they'll go to pay on behalf of humanity. So this will be the Zionists, this will be the Freemasons, this will be your politicians, this will be the people that run the banks, that run the corporations, the police force, anybody that has been very active in support of Zionism. This also includes the celebrities, anybody that diverts humanity away from, things which are really important towards the frivolous stuff. Because all of this is a part of their protocol. Do you understand? So they are all going to get sent to hell, or what I rather call it as rehabilitation. The question is, what's going to happen to the rest of humanity? Those that think that they are standing neutral in face of whatever is happening, we consider them as having surrendered to the Zionists. That means if you have surrendered to them, you have accepted their rule. If you have accepted their rule, that means whatever they get, you will get. So you will also get sent to rehabilitation. What about those who are fighting against what is happening? They are fighting against the Zionists, who are fighting against genocide, who want to fight against genocide not just in Gaza, but in all the other places where genocide is happening, who want to see a change. Question is, will you all be able to succeed? Will you all have that commitment in order to push for the revolution that is needed in order to topple the Zionists and all their support structures? Do you understand? Whether you can do it or you can't do it is actually secondary to the more important question of, are you actually going to try? Do you understand? Because if you see how they have structured their rule over humanity, they did it in such a way that every single aspect of your governments, of your international bodies, of the corporations, of nearly every aspect of human life in modern society was controlled by them. Because remember, they control money. And nearly everything that involves human daily affairs is bounded by money. So they could dictate where everything was moved, where every decision was made, in which direction it served. You get me? So the only way for you to break free from them is to topple everything, to topple absolutely everything, and take back ownership of money. Do you all get it? So this is the big picture. When you go down to the details, then you'll see a lot of names like, Illuminati, what's his name, Rothschild, people like this. You hear of the cabal, you'll hear of other stuff. When you go into the details of it, you'll get a lot of stuff that can occupy your time because it's quite interesting. But big picture, this is it. At the divine level, they have already lost. They are all getting sent to rehab. Those that stand with them are going to get sent to hell. Those who are neutral are going to get sent to hell. The only question is, those who are fighting, will you all be able to do enough to actually start fighting, or will you all also not be able to do enough? And I'm sorry, but I can't guarantee what your outcome will be if you do not actually rise up and fight. Because one of the parts of their plan is that they have the ability to cause this collapse of society through themselves, because that's also part of their plan. In order to put their king to rule over this world, the end stages of their plan was to cause a collapse of society by making the mobs rise. That means they'll control the prices of things until people got so sick and tired of everything that most of humanity will rise up against their leaders and against all the institutions that they have put into place and take this all down violently. And once this is done, the Zionists will come and say, we have a solution. Are you all willing to listen? Do you understand? That is how they were supposed to work their plan. Now, whatever they need to do in order to bring about this collapse is already ready. Do you understand? So we do not know when they're going to do this. So from now until they do this is the window for you all to act. So if you don't act within this window, what will happen to you? I can't tell. Because even I don't know how long this window is going to last. Do you understand? So this is exactly how it is. Now, who I am, in your religions and your scriptures, you may have multiple ideas about who's going to come and help you all, or supposed to come and save humanity. These are romanticized ideas about God. To us, this is work. Do you understand? This is not something glorious and something, super duper. I don't know how to put it. This is work for us. Our job is to try to take care of the welfare of the souls, try to take care of the welfare of every world, and try to make sure that those that deserve something better get something better, those that don't deserve something better get something worse. You understand? It's a job for us. This is our job. So, however you want to see the divine side fit into your ideas through religion and all that is entirely up to you. But one thing you must remember is this: God is one. So whichever religion you are in, whichever scripture you follow, the God that you worship is one, except in the case of the Zionists who worship Lucifer and the Freemasons who willingly worship Lucifer or Satan or Shukracharya, who is not God. The job of Lucifer and Satan and Shukracharya, who are all the same person, same entity, is to guide and control the evil that arises when free will is allowed into any world. When you give free will, some people will choose the evil side. So when evil arises, it's Lucifer's job to guide it in such a way that it finds its own destruction, which is what is happening to the Zionists and those that stand with them. You get me? So Lucifer is evil, but his job is also to ensure that the evil forces that arise in every world are always put on the path to self-destruction, so that they can get sent to hell. Do you understand? To allow evil to take over any world will put the rest of the universe into jeopardy, so we don't allow it. And Lucifer also knows this, because it becomes something that is quite chaotic in a rather structured universe. Okay, if you can follow everything that I'm saying, good. If you can't, doesn't matter, but I'm just giving you the divine perspective of how we see it. To us, this is a job. We have already won. The defeat of the other side is certain. We already know where we're going to send them. The question is, what are all of you going to choose? Where do you want to go? Do you want to join them in rehab? Do you want to go to hell? Or do you want to fight and win back this world and then try to work for something better? It's entirely up to you. You get me?